Hello, Hannah. Thank you so much for joining my podcast, Make Life Rich Movement. How are you?
Hi, Sam. So good. How are you?
Doing good. Guys, just so you're aware, Hannah and I have been internet besties for at least over a year now. I'm obsessed with her. Uh, she is definitely such a bright spirit, and I love the way that she uses social media, and it just like drew me to her entirely, and it grew into a friendship, and here we are. So thank you so much for coming on. So excited.
Yeah, you are definitely like what? Yeah, I mean, like, we talk all the time. Like we talk about social media, life. Today we talked about hacks. Like I'm so grateful for your friendship.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. I am as well. So, you have recently written a book. It's called I'll Pray For You. I am obsessed with it. I think I just started tuning into your social media right before you started writing it. And just like seeing your word count journey and how much of the book was like getting written truly inspired me to start writing. But what led you to want to write a book about your life? It is a memoir, a current memoir to date. But what made it you want to write this book?
Yeah. So here it is. What she's still here. We love her. That's the one literally the day the book came out, which is unfortunate. But
Oh,
Um, yeah, so my whole life, I feel like people have been like, oh my gosh, you should write a book. I used to have blogs and online journals, like online journals and all the like random generation writing things. And so I would write, and people would always be like, oh my gosh, you should write a book, which, I took to heart to mean that, yes, I should actually do this as a thing. And so I like hired an author coach to help me write a whole book proposal, which is like the thing that you submit to book agents and publishing houses. Um, and I got rejected by every single one of them. And I was like, but I thought I should write a book. Like my friends told me I should write a book. What the heck? Which, does apparently not translate to the publishing world. um, and so that was like a year-long process of getting rejected nonstop and felt pretty disheartened. And my husband and I were in Mexico on vacation, and I kind of like had a meltdown about it. And I was like, I'm being rejected constantly. Like, I can't do this, I can't do anything. And he was like, write the damn book. Like, why do you care? Like, why do you care that people are saying no? Like, if this is a thing that you have wanted to do for 10 plus years, like, why aren't you doing it? And I was like, and then I cried, and I was very dramatic. And literally that day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna write the book. And I, like, sat in the hammock in Mexico that day, and started writing and wrote nonstop. It took 30 days. I wrote every single day. I posted every single day about writing. I wrote 78,000 words in 30 days
dude.
and was like, hey, look, I did it. I did the thing. I submitted it again to lit agents, to publishers, um, and then, like, got rejected by all of them. And then was like, oh, I think I have to self-publish, which at the time felt like the lesser option. It felt like, oh, I'm not good enough to get a publishing deal, so maybe this isn't a good book. And decided to self-publish, hired an editor, copywriter, all the things, and self-published, and it has been amazing ever since then. Like, I'm so grateful that I self-published. I'm so grateful for the women that came beside me to help me make this book into what it is now. Um, I literally, it went from 78,000 words to like 42,000 words, so I almost cut it in half.
Wow.
And it's like 42,000 words is like so much better as a book than the 78,000 words I had originally written. And so, yeah, I'm so grateful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, let's all highlight and like do a little clap for writing a whole book in a fucking month. What?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's so insane. And I think around the time that I was watching your word count, I was watching a few other artists that have already written books doing their daily word count on socials. And for them, it was like pulling teeth. And for you, it just felt like it was cathartic in a way for you. You were like, yeah, I was born to do this. Like I'm a type every day, all day. Like I love this. Did you feel like an author when you were like writing it? Was it something where you're like, yeah, obviously it's going to be a book, like of course.
Yeah, so I did a lot of credit to the original author which I hired because in that book proposal I had a full outline of like every single chapter. So it felt so easy to write because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I literally, like, I had every chapter on an index card in my office, and every day I would just pick one and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing today. And then I had four kids, like, I had a full time job, my husband and I had a nonprofit, independent small business, and yeah, I wrote everything. Like I would write in the car when my kids were at soccer practice. I wrote like at the trampoline park, at the skate park. Like I would write in my tiny office upstairs, like with my four kids in the office with me, like drawing and reading and hoeing. And it was just like it was really a family affair. And like okay, like this is what Hannah's doing. And it was like, it didn't matter what the day looked like, what I was. I know, I mean, some authors are like, oh, I wake up at 5 o'clock and right before everyone else is awake. And I'm like, that's not, like, I don't have words at 5 o'clock in the morning, so, like,
Yeah.
no. It it would be like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, wherever I was. Like, my laptop was beside me constantly. I wrote, like, at my in-laws' house, at my parents' house, at friends' houses, like wherever. I was just so committed to doing it, and no,
I love that. The fact that it became like a full blown mission for you and that everyone around you kind of like was on board for that is insane, especially for how busy of a person you are. Your life is so full. Like every day for you seems like you are, from the minute you open your eyes to the minute you lay down, like your day is packed. What did it take for you, like discipline wise? You seem like a very disciplined person. Disciplined person to begin with. So it just seemed like this was just another thing you worked into your day. But was it difficult to sit down in the beginning and do it, or just that decision in Mexico in the hammock, like did it for you and then you were committed?
yeah, I think the decision in Mexico was it. I, like, my like rebellious spirit is like, oh, if somebody tells me like I should do something, or like my husband who's not trying to be combative at all, and next to her saying like just do the damn thing, I was like, well, fine, I'll do it, and then I like did it.
Yeah, I love that. I think the one thing about your book that I have been the most not impressed with, because writing the damn thing, first of all, is like a feat in itself. And the fact that you almost chopped it in half, you basically wrote two books. But I love that you incorporated so completely on the cover art. If you don't mind showing it again, because I kind of want to break down for everybody who is Hannah and why you're so special to me. So you have a disco ball in your house, and every day at a certain time of day, if there's sun, it is shining like a disco ball, and you have a little dance party in the middle of the afternoon for yourself. Hannah is a homesteader. You have tons of chickens, rabbits, goats, pigs, the whole nine. So you had one of your little hens with you on the cover. You love crop tops, which crop tops for life. I don't care what time of year it is, crop tops forever. You have your quintessential bang, which you cut yourself for this one?
Oh
Or
yeah,
did
all
someone
the
cut it?
time.
Yeah, all the time. You're so freaking brave with the bang cutting, girl. I don't know. And you always do such a perfect job. Like, you
Uh,
think you don't, but they look great. They look great. And then just the brightness of the cover. Like, this to me is you encapsulated on paper, and it's crazy. I just love it so much. Like, when you showed me the cover, I cried a tear for you, and I was like, holy shit, that is the coolest book cover. This is so you. It encapsulates like everything without having to say a word. So, if you are ever like and trying to write a book, guys, and you're like, I don't know what to do with the cover, I don't want to be too this or that, it's like just be yourself, because being yourself is what's going to sell this book.
Right, yeah, I mean, I had an amazing photographer, and she, like, we sat down, and she was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Chickens and disco balls," and she was like, "Okay, great." And she really had just opened up a new studio, like, was not even finished, like, renovating it. And I was like, "Okay, I'm bringing my chicken to the studio," and she was like, "Okay, great, like, sure, this is the thing that we're doing," and like. She's amazing. Yeah, it feels, yeah, so 100% me. I love my little belly rolls that are showing. Like, I'm so, yeah, it's the best book I've ever, yeah.
I love it. It must feel crazy to like hold it and look at it and be like, I did this. Like, this is me.
Yeah, the first time I got the first copy in the mail, I cried, but not as like relief, but as like, well, one, it was like not complete, but like you don't know things aren't right until you see it. So it's
Yeah.
like I spent a lot of money buying lots of copies of my book off of Amazon before it was ever like out in the world. But truly, when I got the final copy, I cried, and then not out of like pride, but I kind of was like, oh no, like what's next? Like I did the thing that I talked about for 10 years. And now what?
Yes.
And I like freaked out like internally and externally, like even Satan and God. So I was like, oh no, like this has been my thing for 2 years now and I did the thing and how do I move forward from this? And I mean I spent like a good 2 or 3 months like, what's next? What do I do? No. And yeah, I like went to the desert in Arizona to like hopefully figure out what was next for me and recently launched a coaching program that we can certainly talk about too.
I love it. So let's segue into talking about your next big project, which is your playground. I think I'm a little behind on the details of the playground, but I want to talk about your steadfastness in finding a location for this playground, because it seems like you had a lot of really perfect locations, but they weren't interested in supporting what it was that you were trying to acquire the space for, which was an inclusive playground that has multiple levels of abilities for children to come and play and just be kids. Would you mind talking a little bit about like what the starting of that journey was like and where you're at with it now?
Yes. So in 2021, my husband and I lived out in the country and we loved it. And literally it started with the idea of having a coffee shop. Like we were like, oh, like there's no local coffee shops in our town. Like let's start one. Not that we know how to start a coffee shop. Don't know why we thought we did. But so it started with a coffee shop, and then somebody was like, oh, you should have an inclusive playground like in adjacent to the coffee shop. And we were like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. Yes. And then we also were looking around and we were like, our town doesn't have a laundromat. Doesn't that set? We should also start a laundromat. And then, what? We don't know anything about having a laundromat. I don't. And so so we had these like grand visions and like coffee shop, playground, laundromat. Wow, like you can do all the things at once. It was great. And praise God, that dream like dwindled down into just having a playground, just building an inclusive playground in our town. And, and yeah, so we like started a nonprofit, like a legit 501c3 called Growing Inclusivity. And we want to have an inclusive playground for all ages and abilities. And we also want to have like a community garden aspect that is accessible and inclusive. And like not everyone has the time or desire to have their own garden, that people can participate in a community garden that they might enjoy. So I thought that would be good. And then we spent over a year looking at properties all the time and just land and commercial land, agricultural land to find space for this playground. We got connected with an engineering firm to help us like design the playground, and they are amazing and have done such a cool job with designing it. But to be honest, like the time frame as getting rejected the land and getting rejected the notebook proposal happened at the same time. And that's why in Mexico I was like, nothing's happening. Like, we can't do this playground, I can't do the deal, like everything sucks. And that's when the husband's like, okay, like let the gun go. Like, I can't make land appear that you have control of writing the book, so like let's focus on that. Like the land will happen when it happens. And then September of last year, 2022, so almost a year and a half after we had the idea of the playground, and we had a meeting with a guy who owns a golf course in our town, and we literally walked in and like had a whole presentation to give him, and about like putting the playground on his property, not on the golf course that he owns like tons of land in the area. And thought we would have to like sell him on it, and we walked in and sat down, and 2 minutes later he was like, okay, like let's do it. Like, you tell me what you need and like we'll make it happen. And we were like, what are you saying? And he was like, yeah, like we'll put the playground here, like it'll be amazing. And so like signed contracts and had land. Then this past winter and spring we have paid a lot of money to have like survey work done to see if we can put the playground on the property. And I was like, if we just paid $20,000 for them to say no, it can't happen here, I will lose my mind. Yeah. Yes, all is well. We can put the playground there. And so now our engineering firm is like putting the idea of the playground like on the actual land to figure out like how things will work, what we have to do to the land to make it happen. And that's what we are now. But it's like a $2.5 million project, and we don't have $2.5 million. So if you are a person who has a lot of money, if you're a person that knows how to write minutes and do fundraisers, call me. Because I don't have time to do all those things.
Yeah, you are literally spread. You are spread quite thin, girl, but you achieve everything you put your mind to. I love that so much. Okay, guys, if you're interested at all in this project, I'm going to include whatever links I can in the show notes. I'll get them from you later. And honestly, every bit counts. Like you could donate $7 and not get Starbucks for a day, and you could be contributing towards something that is very needed. And it's ridiculous that it has to cost that much or be that labor intensive to create. But thank you so much for putting the effort into that and to doing it. And I have no doubt it's going to be created and it's going to be amazing. What does it feel like as a mom to have your children, you have 4 boys, to have your children witness you just like murdering all of these goals like left and right? Like you are a high achiever, like a very high achiever. Does it, do they recognize that like they have this like super mom that is just crushing life and taking names and like writing books and making playgrounds, all while having a full-time job, mind you guys. Hannah has a full-time job, a 9 to 5, and then has all of these other amazing huge projects happening basically at once. So like what do they think about it? How does it feel for you to be able to like show them that like you can live life to the fullest in this way?
When you study and so they was it, I think. They I was like, oh, like what are we doing now? Like what's next? And like recently we were like on the header of like our hometown's magazine.
Oh my God,
And
I love it.
I know it's like it. And and I am like oftentimes yeah, like in the newspaper or like on NBC recently about my book. And so they like read it, they like regular in it because we'll go to the pool and to Target and people will be like, oh my gosh, like are you Hannah? And I'm like, yes, I'm Hannah. And then they go like, you're so famous. And I'm like, I'm not famous, like at all. And so they read it and they like, and it's so cool when they're like in the newspaper or like teachers at the school and they're like, I saw you on TV and they'll be like, oh, like amazing. So they love it. They are so kind. So like they are always like, can I take a copy of your book to my teacher? Can I take some evidence to my teacher? Like blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, yes, like you're a good hype man, but also we shouldn't like just give away all the things that we work really hard to do all the time.
Yeah, we gotta sell them, guys. We gotta sell them. I love that. I think it's so cool. My dad was an entrepreneur, so growing up, seeing that, I think definitely made me lean a little more towards like, oh, I want to do my own thing. Like, I don't want to go do what everybody else is doing. So, I would imagine that like you're really impacting them in ways that like they're not even aware of yet. That's gonna lead them to just lead such cool lives too, because you and Brandon, your husband, are just such givers, and you guys are constantly just doing things that make you happy. And I think it's so important for people's children. I'm not a mother, but it seems really important to have your kids seeing you both living your dreams and like feeling joy all at the same time, which you are an expert in. I love your rebellious spirit. I want to like transition into your coaching, which you just started offering. And I think it's been a long time coming, honestly, because you motivate so many people with just your little anecdotes, like your reminders every night. Like, guys, get gas tonight. You're going to be late tomorrow. You're not going to have time to get gas. Like, you know yourself. And just like these very relatable things that, we get bogged down by, and you don't let them phase you. And I love your CrossFit journey. It just seems like you're constantly seeking ways to level up and keep rebelling against the status quo and like reveling in that joy. So, what led you to just starting the coaching program? What are you really covering in the coaching program? I know that you are a joy coach, you're a joy expert, in my opinion. You live life to the fullest, all on your own accord. It's not like this isn't some like bullshit, guys. Like Hannah is a joy expert, like legitimately pours joy into every ounce of her day that she can find. So, where did the coaching program come for you, and what are you covering in it? What can your students expect?
Thank you. You are so kind. And so the joy, the joy, the coaching program came honestly, when I like went to the desert in Arizona, and I was like, "What's next? Like, do I write another book?" Like, I don't think I should write another book right now because I wrote up until the point when my book came out. So I was like, I think I have to like live more life before I can write another book. Um, like, do I pursue speaking? Do I pursue like? I don't know. I literally kind of felt lost after my book came out. And I was like, I think I want to do coaching. And I mean, like, so you know better than anyone. Like, I have talked to you about this since probably like the past like 9 months. Like, even before I decided to do it, I had been like, I think this is like a thing that like I should do. I should try out. And, and so I myself hired a coach. And to help me like flesh out what my offerings would be, what my program would be. So like I know how it feels to like invest money in yourself and invest money in like pursuing the next thing for you. And so yeah, I hired a coach here like in my community who we spent 2 months like hardcore like developing the program. Like I have like 12 weeks worth of modules that we go through and coaching. So it's a 12-week program. Um so you like fill out the application, we hopped on a call to see if like I'm driving, you're driving, things are good. And there's like a private Facebook group that we are all in together and people share constantly, which is like so encouraging. And we meet one on one once a week, and every 2 weeks there's a group coaching call, which is truly my favorite. Like we had one last night, and I just think community is so important and so beautiful, and like the support and encouragement that other people can bring is like the best. And I think at some point I might switch to like only doing group coaching just because I think it's so beautiful. But right now I'm doing one-on-one with a side of group coaching and I love it. And yeah, I mean I launched it and like literally posted on Instagram that I was launching it, and then I deleted the Instagram app because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. Like, what if nobody signs up? Like, what if this is like a thing that I just spent a lot of money hiring a coach to help me with, and nothing happens? And, but, you know, that's like antithetical to everything I'm teaching and coaching about like not so we talk a lot about mindset um and like this week we kind of vision casted like if I had had the perfect life like this guy like if my life could like I could wave a magic wand and we could like my life could look like XYZ what would it look like and so like next week we'll start talking about like okay like how do we get to XYZ. And I truly thought with coaching that we would be talking about like physical goals, like I want to walk 10,000 steps a day, I want to like just whatever, like tangible things that I can just hold people accountable for. And at least in this cohort that I have found it has been so much more about how they want to feel. Like, I want my life to feel this way. And it has been so, like, beautiful and, like, eye-opening for me. And I have, like, gotten good feedback. So this group is halfway through. We hit the 6th-week mark today. And some of them do have tangible goals and, like, one day was like, I wanted to clean out my office. Like, I had never cleaned it out. I hate it. I sit in it for 8 hours a day and I hate it. And so, like, she has killed it in the past 6 weeks of cleaning out her office. And now we're like, okay, like, what else? Like, so now you feel a certain way that you have to clean the office. Like, what other things in your life do you need to, like, clean out, literally, or another fluently, to continue feeling this way? Like, and yeah, it's been so good and so beautiful, and I am so grateful for. And right now it's 7 women, who are like investing in themselves, investing in finding joy and feeling rebellious. And I had to go last week and be like, I don't feel like my dreams are rebellious. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, you can feel however you want to feel. Like,
Yeah.
I think I often claim the rebel tiger just because, like, I wasn't even supposed to be born. Like, the doctors told my parents to abort me and they didn't. And so I feel like my mom, like, infused her rebel spirit into me. And so I think that's just how I have seen my life. And I'm like, if you want to, like, feel content and joy and not be like, I'm structured every day to be a rebel, like, okay, you do you. Like, you feel how you want to feel. Like, my function is not, I'm not out here to make like 7 tiny Hannahs in the world. I'm out here to like make you feel the best version of yourself. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm really grateful for it, and it has been really beautiful so far.
Oh, I love this so much for you. I think this is truly like the culmination of where you're at with everything you've been doing. I know with your 9 to 5, your main focus of that work is helping people. And I love that you've created something that you're in control of how you help people. I think that autonomy over you being able to use your skill sets and your empathy and your vulnerability to help other people open up to the thought and the possibility that joy can be for them. Because, unless you've been in a place to where you don't really have abundant joy and you are lacking the tool set within yourself to be able to cultivate more joy, it can get really, like, I have goosebumps right now thinking about how many people you're helping just with this thought of like you can have more joy and you're helping them to cultivate that joy on their terms. Like, I love that you're using strategy to help them figure out how to find the joy. These little things like cleaning out an office or purging your closet at the end of winter, or like the things that I've seen you do on your Instagram since I started following you and becoming friends with you. These little things can be the shifts that totally change someone's life and take that mindset and that trajectory in a journey continuing towards joy instead of wallowing, and not wallowing, that's a terrible word, but feeling really stuck, just like you have nowhere to turn for other options. And I just love that this is what you're doing and where you're putting your skill sets, because people need someone like you to just make them feel comfortable to think that they even deserve to feel happy, which
Yeah. And
is
you like hit the nail on the head, Sarah. Like, all 7 women came to me being like, oh, yeah, I feel stuck. I feel like a robot. I feel like I had lost myself. And saying I want to feel joy in my body and in my life because I haven't in so long. And like, clearly when I tell you, like, when the applications roll in and I like hop on that 20-minute call after they fill out the application, like, I cry, they cry. I'm like, oh, like, I don't care. I mean, I tell them, like, you don't have to sign up with me. You don't, like, you do you. But, like, it hurts my heart to hear that you are, like, walking around existing feeling this way. Like, that is not how we were made to feel. And it, yeah, it just like breaks my heart to be like, do you like? I say like, do you know that you like deserve to feel different? And they often like, no, it doesn't feel that way. Like it doesn't feel
Oh,
like I deserve that. Oftentimes there are norms and laws, and society is so like, no, as a woman, put everyone else first, and I'm like, man, it's so backwards. Like, if you can't put yourself first, like, none, like, these people aren't getting the best in you. Like, you deserve to put yourself first so that you can do all these things, that your people can get the best known, the best partner, the best employee, whatever, that, like, you so deserve to, like, feel joy and feel like yourself and feel like the person that you want to be or once were and want to feel that way again.
ugh, you got me, girl. I'm crying over here.
See, I'm telling you, I hop on these 20-minute calls and we just cry and cry and cry.
Dude, I'd be sobbing. I think it's so important. Uh, guys, like, if you're listening and you're like, I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, it's picking up. Sorry, it was picking up weird. I thought you were talking. The uh the thing here that I want to point out to the listeners is that, you know, Hannah isn't a therapist. She didn't go to like psychology school or whatever it is you're supposed to do before you help people with their feelings. All she did was live her life out loud. And in living her life out loud and showing other people, like just live, just exist, just feel, just be, just like don't compartmentalize yourself in this box. Not only did it lead Hannah to have a fuller and happier life in the process of her just being vulnerable and just sharing her life and her thoughts and her feelings, it led so many other people. Like, what are you at now for your followers? Like 95,000, 90. You're up there. Like, a lot of people tune in every day to you just to get a little bit of that for themselves because they're searching for it. So I'm saying that, my Richies, just because I want you to recognize that, like, just by existing and being yourself and being open and refusing to be a part of the system and be a cog in the wheel, you can inspire others to do the same. And it takes nothing but the effort of you just living your full life as authentically and genuinely as you can. And like for me, Hannah, you are the epitome of that. Like so many people are so scared to just do stuff. Just try. Just if you fuck up, you fucked up. Like get over it. It's a lesson and move on with it. And you never seem to like boo hoo. You'll give yourself a little boo hoo for a day or two, but you get right back up and you move on and you do something else. And I think you're the perfect person to be coaching these women and anybody else that comes your way, because you, like, just through like seeking joy and your daily approach to having some type of movement in your day, like that alone has affected my life. Like there have been points over the last year and a half where I've been super depressed, and just the thought of getting up and going for a walk outside was hard, which, unless you've been there, sounds a little silly, but when you're there, you're like, damn, okay, yeah, the least I can do today is get up and go for a walk. So I just thank you for being yourself and just sharing who you are with everyone. The world can be a nasty place, especially on social media, and I really just treasure the pocket of the internet that you've created that we all get to come and visit whenever we need a little dose of Hannah. And you're just a treasure. I'm obsessed with you.
You're so kind. I'm like constantly trying to get you to come to the gym because I'm obsessed
I'll
with
be
it.
there.
I can't wait.
I'll be there.
And then I appreciate you. I appreciate your kind words. I feel like you just like bolstered me up and just like, yeah, just like speaking life over me. So like, this sounds cheesy then, is it? Like, we should all do that to ourselves, like, all day long. Like, we can hype ourselves up, we can remind ourselves that we are right where we are supposed to be, and, like, everything that we need is all on the inside of us, and it is so good. But it doesn't help to have friends like Sarah who, like, come alongside you and kind words over and I appreciate
Obsessed with you. So I ask every guest this question, and then I end the show with this. Hannah, how do you make your life rich?
I think that I find joy and gratitude in the day and using my that. Like it's I'm not out here like touting a secret. I'm not out here saying you have to like spend money. You don't have to hire me as a host. You don't have to know that book. But literally like writing down or normalizing gratitude every day and enjoy every day and being intentional with your body, whether that is like physical movement, meditation, prayer, getting some extra rest if your body is telling you that you need it. Like it is all serving you well to do, and I think our society focuses so hard on like looking at physical a certain kind of way. And it's like, okay, what if we spend all that time and energy focusing on like how our heart and mind feel? Like we would be a lot better off, I think. So if you want to physically move, I think that's really great because movement is medicine. But if your body needs other things, be attuned to that and do it.
I love it. Thank you so much for being on, Hannah. This was literally many, many moons in a manifestation that this has happened. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you want to buy Hannah's book, which you should, it'll be linked in the show notes. If you're interested in becoming a student of Hannah's, that will be linked in the show notes. And then we will be linking where you can donate for the playground that is gonna happen. I can't wait to come and play on that thing. I know you're going to get this done, and it will not take a long time because that's not how you roll. I know you're going to manifest that playground in no time. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And again, Hannah and all of her goodies and all of her links will be in the show notes. Stalk her, become obsessed with her. She will be your friend too. You want her in your life. Hannah, thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you, Sarah. What a fun way to spend the morning. I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you.